This week we're going to highlight the history of the price change for soybean futures on the date that the USDA releases its June 30th acreage and grain stocks reports. Then we're going to take a look at the latest crop condition ratings and weather trends here in the U.S. Then we're going to wrap things up with a long-term review of November soybean futures. Hi, this is Brian Bastine with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've moved into the last week of June here, and we're starting to focus very intently on weather trends in the U.S. Before we get to that, however, let's take a look at the June 30th acreage and grain stocks reports. Specifically, what we're going to do is look at the price changes associated with the release of those reports over time. Let's take a look at that chart. Again, what this chart shows is the change from the previous day in July soybean futures and November soybean futures on the date that those reports are released. Here's the key message. Look at over time there. There's been a number of years when prices have been higher. There's also been a number of years where prices have been lower, and a few years where prices have been unchanged. Key message, we strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to have your risk management positions in place prior to the release of these reports on Monday, June 30th at 11 a.m. Central Time. Let's shift gears now and focus on crop conditions here in the U.S. The USDA came out on Monday of this week with unchanged crop conditions nationwide. The states highlighted in the red declined from the previous week, and the states highlighted in the green improved a bit. Let's take a look at the history of the crop condition index. Really unchanged in the aggregate index also. Here's the key message though. Look at how that index can potentially change over time between now and harvest, both to the upside and to the downside. That's why it's critical to maintain flexibility in your marketing. Let's shift gears now and focus on crop progress for beans. What we've done with this chart is look at soybeans blooming. Now soybeans blooming on average increased approximately 25% from June 22nd to July 6th. So at 8% currently, we may be looking at about a third of the bean crop blooming as we get into that July 4th weekend. And as we enter the month of July, of course, weather will become increasingly important for beans. Let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-storm weather. I'm starting out here looking at a divergence in temperatures. Anything to the north and the west that basically has no color to it there, that's going to be closer to seasonable readings for this time of year. But as we move south and east across that orange area, it's still going to stay hot all the way through Monday, Tuesday of next week. Highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s. What about rainfall? Looks like there's going to be some rainfall through Friday, Saturday of this week. Heaviest amounts there in the pink area, 1 1/4 to 2.5 inches, but plenty of green, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, all across the Midwest. Now let's take a look ahead to next week. Temperature-wise, it looks like the hottest temperatures are going to remain in the northern plains. And as we move south and particularly east, it looks like it's going to be more seasonable leading into that 4th of July weekend. Let's take a look at precip totals now over the next 2 weeks. What we did here is looking at the next 2 weeks again. Really no sign of drought, no sign of dry conditions all across the Midwest there, moving into that first full week of July. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in November beans. November beans, as we tape here on Tuesday, are trading near $10.40 a bushel. But look at that price volatility historically from the end of June into harvest. Quite a bit of price volatility, not every year, but quite a few years there, both to the upside and to the downside. That's why we strongly encourage you to continue to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement and avoid price prediction. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'd be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. And make sure to join us at 1:30 p.m. on June 30th for a detailed market analysis of the USDA reports. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.